Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SNTV podcast from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is Season 5, Episode 8, The Last Day. I am your host, the thigh gap of the space brush that you are envious of, Jacob.
Hi, I'm Cleo.
You don't have a little intro?
I don't. Are we doing intros now? That's
I don't know.
too hard.
I know that's a little thing I do. I don't know. It's stupid.
No, I love it. I love it.
Okay. Now, we could sit here and talk about, the things that occurred in the episode and, sequence of events, which, is what we usually do and what we're going to do. But really, I just want to talk about Yo-Yo.
Can I tell you, Yo-Yo made me so sad this episode.
I know.
Because I'm sorry, I would love to start with Yo-Yo, but I really feel we have to start with logistics of this time travel loop.
Yeah.
Because clearly they're stuck in a loop. Like, this has happened multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is Robin flitting between versions of herself, she's flitting between versions of herself within different versions of this timeline.
Yeah, and that confuses me.
Yeah, when I realized that, I was like, this is like a confusion sandwich in a confusion picnic. Like, everything is confusing.
I'm like, did I put on Doctor Who? I don't know. Okay, so I don't know. Let's try to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
So last week we saw Robin, yes. Much older Robin. Don't have him. So we got the team. They're going down to the surface where you can survive. And so we got May is down there with Robin. And Enoch, who's still a creepy motherfucker.
He's our creepy motherfucker, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I want him. I don't know if I want him to claim him as mine, but we'll see. And we're there with the True Believers. Very Once Upon a Time names.
They clearly don't believe hard enough.
No, they don't. Which I think is interesting. There's a thing about belief in this episode. And if you look back, was it season 3 with Yo-Yo's cross that she has?
Yes.
That's a symbol of belief and faith, and that was one of the themes of that season that Yo-Yo really expressed, mm-hmm. and she taught that to everyone. And so I think it's interesting that we kind of see that coming back, and it's a contrast to the Yo-Yo that we see later in the episode, which we will talk about later. So just keep that in mind. Just put a bookmark on that. Okay, and then we have little Robin with May, and we see May acting like a mother figure to Robin, which I think makes sense because May doesn't have children, mm-hmm. and I believe she was planning on having children mm-hmm. until the thing that happened.
Yeah,
that makes me upset. So I think May has taken Robin partly because she never had children, and like she deep down she still wants them, and also I think she is trying in a way to redeem herself from what happened with that little girl.
Mm-hmm. And what happened in the framework too.
Yes, that too.
She feels she has to earn it back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a lot simpler than that. That's obviously a factor, but we learn that the May we see with Robin as a little girl is a future May.
Yes.
So this is all spurred off of the last words that Robin has to say to May. So it's a personal, a two-person connection, too.
Yeah, definitely.
And we don't know exactly what she said, so
we know it has something to do with Flint.
Whoever the fuck Flint is,
Flint is
or whatever the fuck Flint is.
no, Flint is
You know?
Flint is Earthbender guy.
Pebbles? Really?
Yeah,
I thought his name was something else.
I thought it was Flint. Isn't that his name? Am I making this up?
I'll get back to you on that.
I could have sworn his name was Flint.
Yes. Oh, you're absolutely right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
good.
take it back.
I was questioning my own sanity there for a
Pebbles
second.
is Flint. I also love how Mac called him Pebbles.
Because he has to call everybody,
He has
whatever.
to have a cute nickname. All I could think of was Pebbles from the Flintstones.
Yeah.
I love
Flint
it.
Stones. There we go.
Oh! Flint is also a stone! And he moves stones!
There we got it. It came around. Okay.
It goes full circle.
Okay.
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay. Simmons is dead. Can we talk about that?
Simmons dies.
She died a lot.
She dies. Presumably, so does Mac. And I think Mac dies before they go back.
Yes. And that bothers me. Because I after 5 seasons of the show, naturally you start thinking about, okay, which actors' contracts are expiring?
Yeah.
And I don't like to think about character death, but it happens. And I've accepted that some characters are going to die. Mac is not one of them, though.
Yeah.
Because him and Yo-Yo, they have to have a baby.
Yes. And
They just
considering
need to have babies.
considering this show's past problem with having more than one black man in the show, I really hope that they don't do that again.
Not, please.
Could we not?
Can we not?
Can we just have the characters we have right now? Keep them both, like, please.
I know.
Don't do that. Don't do the thing.
So let's see. After that, we got Coulson talking with Robin, and she mentions that they can pull the pieces together. Now, all I can think about is Flint actually taking the Earth and smushing it back together. I don't know if that's how fixing the Earth works.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I do not think they can fix this time. The time they're in right now, they can't fix that. There's nothing to do but go back and stop it. Which is what they seems to. And I wouldn't have realized this was a loop until Fitz said, "We've gone back how many dozens of times, and every time Daisy still feels like quaking the earth." Which I don't believe that happens. I cannot believe that Daisy destroys the world. Because the dude's proof that Quake destroyed the world was her leaving the Zephyr, which is fucking not proof at all.
No. I don't. I believe in the back of my mind, like it's always telling me, no, of course she didn't destroy the Earth.
Yeah.
But it's very possible that she could have.
I think she leaves the Zephyr. They evacuated the city for whatever reason, and she goes to fight someone, and she loses.
That's probably the likely situation, because we've never seen Daisy use her powers in such a way that's earth-shattering.
Yeah. I believe she can do it, but I don't think she does.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she could do it, under the right circumstances, and if she actually, maybe if she went insane.
Mind control?
Maybe.
You can't rule out a psychic?
No.
A real psychic? When is this?
I'm saying.
I mean, they gave us a psychic and they killed him, so.
Yeah. So upset about that.
I know. Right?
So I think she has the potential to do it, which is why I'm not shocked that everyone is convinced that she did it. Yeah. But always in the back of my mind, it's saying, no, you're stupid. Of course you didn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know. We're still missing pieces of this puzzle to completely answer.
Yeah, the puzzle, the giant puzzle that is the Earth that we got to put back together. Let's see, we find a piece of the monolith.
Yes.
The monolith that sent them there.
Yes.
So similar to in season 3 where they had like different those little blocks of the monolith. Mm-hmm. Instead of, you don't necessarily have to have the whole monolith. I think you just need enough, to make a little pool, a little puddle. So like that's what they need to do. They got to find all the pieces so they can go back home.
Yeah.
Or at least that's like at least for now anyways, that seems like the only option they have.
I mean, they still have the machine, which we find out Fitz designed and Deke's dad made off of those designs.
Yes. We do find out that Deke's father had that piece.
Yes. Would not let it go.
Yes.
Was very protective of it.
So why does this dude have it?
Oh, because he killed the shit out of Deke's dad.
Exactly.
Oh, we know why.
Now I think so this was obviously meant to like make Deke sympathetic. I still don't care.
I mean, I think this was less of a make him sympathetic to us and more of a give him a real reason to help the team.
Yes.
This is a real reason because we've gone beyond the fight with the Kree. Like, this is past that. This is, we gotta find the monolith and get us the fuck home.
Yeah, I still don't care, though.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. But this is the most genuine Deke has felt in a while, because there are a lot of times he's doing stuff and he's saying lines, and it's just like, you're reading lines. You're not being a person. So, This is the most genuine he's felt this entire episode, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we got the true believers trying to kill Daisy. So she can't destroy the world.
I guess they don't really believe.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, you're all dead.
I know. They like all pulled knives on them, and I'm like, you're funny, guy. That's a joke. That's a good joke.
Yeah. She doesn't have her powers, but she don't need her powers.
Yeah, she doesn't. And neither does Mayor Coulson. Like, I'm like...
Oh, no. Of course not.
4 of you idiots is not enough.
Mm-hmm. But instead, instead of Sam focusing on Daisy, he turns his focus over to Robin. And just, again, why do we gotta do this again? Every single clairvoyant we have in the show fucking dies.
Yeah. But she has lived through all these loops.
Right.
So she really doesn't see this as a death. She's like, I'm going back to sleep now, and I'll wake up in a different part of my own timeline.
She's probably tired.
She's probably exhausted. Because in the whole scene with May, with her mom, all along exactly what Robin was going to tell her in the future. Or past? Future past? Goddamn time. Goddamn time travel. I can't. But in that scene, she's like, every time I go to sleep, I see people dying. It's like, that sounds like terrible sleep. I get terrible sleep, and I don't see people dying in my dreams.
Well, I mean, so I do all the time. And you know what? I think you build up resistance to it. But, yeah, that's really sad. She calls me Mom.
Oh, I know. That's so sweet.
And that's when she tells May something about Flint. Whether or not she didn't say if it was a good thing or a bad thing with Flint. Yes. She just says it. She just said it involves Flint somehow. Don't know if he's gonna glue the Earth back together. They got to kill him somehow. I don't know. Maybe Flint is the one who destroyed the Earth somehow by going back in time from this timeline and then going to their timeline.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know.
wondering if Flint is going to be the key to stop, because I don't believe Daisy does this. I believe it's an enemy or whatever that she's fighting to try to stop, and she fails. And the earthquake, the 12.5, 12.9 on the Richter scale, earthquake, I believe she just fails to stop it. I think she might need Flint to help stop it. Which means our little baby boy is coming back from the future.
Yeah, you come into his own. And we better get a fucking Back to the Future reference. Fits
If
our Mac.
Mac doesn't make it, Mac would have to, I'm sorry to say this, Mac would have to be dead to not make that joke.
So you better fucking make the joke.
Exactly.
Now, can we talk about Yo-Yo now, please? Can
Oh, breaking my heart, girl. She doesn't believe anymore.
No.
Breaking my heart.
Proof
That Mac is dead, because I mean she says Mac's not around anymore.
That would be, not to say that that doesn't mean he's dead. I think worst case scenario, I think the better case is that he is dead. Worst case scenario, he left her, which I don't see him doing.
No.
But if he were to do that, then I think that's what really would set her over the edge to not have faith anymore.
I think him leaving her would not be enough to shatter her belief. I think him dying and then them having all of these years of struggle to then be forced, to work with the Kree, because we can assume they're on the lighthouse, they're working with the Kree, they've got supplies for them that they need. And I can see her over the years getting very angry and wanting to fight. I can see that happening. And we can assume she's the reason why there's this such tough martial law from the Kree, because if she fights back, they're not gonna take that shit. Especially if she kills a lot of them, which I'm sure she did. If she went to fight them.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the other side of that, can we please talk about Yo-Yo and her badassery?
Yes! How she puts little explosive discs or disintegrator discs in every single one of those fucking things. Mwah.
This sequence is probably my new favorite sequence in the entire show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like, here come the roaches, they're crawling everywhere, and then they start jumping, and then, everything's slow, and then she's using her powers, and she was like, running, and stab. So cool. Oh my god, it was so cool.
That was fucking great. And I loved it where Mac was like, Flint was, and so then what do we do? And he's like, we don't do anything. I'm like, Yo-Yo's got this, boys. Sit down.
Oh, and Shotgun X.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. That was so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Isn't it hard to shoot with the axe on the thing?
That's freaking great.
I do want to. Okay, so Yo-Yo's awesome. Love Yo-Yo. But we'll move on from that, because I can write an essay about how much I love that sequence.
And I just, before we move away from Yo-Yo, I loved how both her and Mac were tag team parents for Flint in this episode.
Yeah.
They each knew which thing they had to handle with him, and they did it, and it was adorable. Because Mac was just like, oh, this is a human thing, you should go talk to it. And Mac just sort of steps out of the way and lets Yo-Yo talk to him about it.
And then Mac can teach him about tacos.
Yeah. And axes and shotguns.
Yeah. And movies that he hasn't seen. What's a movie?
Although he makes a movie reference. Oh, I don't remember what it was. And Flint just sort of rolls with it and you didn't understand that, that's okay. Let's move on.
You know that meme of Steve in the first Avengers movie?
I understood that reference. There's so many reasons why Clueless Steve is my favorite.
I love Clueless Steve. I like how he Side tangent. I like how in his notebook, he has Star Trek and Star Wars,
Yeah.
and he has to differentiate the two.
Yeah.
I like to think he went home to go see those,
Yeah.
and then he started talking to other people about it. And he said, "So it's my understanding that there are two types of sci-fi: Star Trek and Star Wars." And then he makes everybody upset.
I think a lot of people would agree with that assessment. Yeah, I love the Notebook, and I love that when Black Widow tried to explain like War Games, he's like, "I know, I've seen that movie," and she's like, "Oh." Steve's doing his homework. Anyway, we're talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Which Steve
That's
is no
awesome.
longer.
Or maybe he is. Maybe he's down there,
Oh, God.
surviving. I like to think he is.
This is a world where all of the heroes had to die because there's no way they would let this happen.
Well, maybe he's still in Wakanda. And because Wakanda is so closed off from the rest of the world, they don't realize that the world is destroyed. They're like, everything's fine.
That was T'Challa's father's Wakanda. T'Challa's Wakanda is very much knowing what's going on in the rest of the world. Good theory, though.
Because you know, like even after that, Wakanda's still gonna be fine.
And here's back to the time loop thing. Here's the thing that I keep thinking about, because we thought that with this whole season, or at least this this whole season basically being in the future, we wouldn't have to worry about any tie-ins. But this could be a tie-in. The cataclysmic event could be Thanos. And it could hinge on Flint and Quake. The destruction of the Earth could hinge on Flint and Quake. Maybe not directly dealing with Thanos, but maybe, I don't know, roundabout.
Well, I thought immediately when the season started, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
That this happened after Infinity War, and this was a timeline where Thanos did win. So maybe that could still be it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it is, because like we're overdue
Yeah.
for tie-ins.
Yeah.
Where's Lady Sif? I don't know.
My girl, where? Oh, I know. She's got the Aether. She's keeping it safe somewhere in space. She's holding down the fort.
Yeah,
She's somewhere in space.
because everybody else died.
That is the only acceptable answer, is that she is doing something awesome for her to not be in Ragnarok. That's the only acceptable answer.
Yeah, or she's off doing another show. But
Well, that is literally what she's doing, but... Which, stop. Girl, stop. Come back. We need you.
if they would just write her into a bigger role,
I absolutely agree, yeah.
would
So
totally get that.
in Blind Spot, she's the main character, so obviously, as an actor, you're going to want to pick that.
so give her more money, Marvel. That's all I'm saying.
Pay her for a leading role. Do it.
I pay for. I'd go see a Lady Sif movie.
Hells yeah. Lady Sif and Valkyrie dick around the galaxy.
Oh my god.
Come on. Do it.
Okay, Agents of Shield. Which Lady Sif was on. So there, brought it back
Yes,
around.
yeah, she was. Those were some of my favorite episodes.
Yeah. We got. So we still need to remember that we also have other villains on this show. We got Cassius and Cassius rather.
Oh my goodness. He had like 2 scenes in this episode, but
Yeah, I forgot he was there. I'm like, oh, you're here. And Ball Lady. I still don't remember her name.
oh god, neither do I.
Yeah.
I keep
but Ball
calling
Lady.
her his lieutenant.
Yeah, I call her Ball Lady because
Ball Lady. She's got that. Mine are over there again. I could be, never gonna make that hand gesture again.
and then we got Ball Lady. They're gonna they want Daisy. They're probably gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Because he said bring her back dead or alive, and she's probably gonna.
Oh, she wants to kill her so bad.
Mm-hmm.
She drops down looking like she just came out of Destiny 2. With that mask, I'm like, somebody's a wizard from Destiny, or what do they call them? I don't know. I don't play the game. So.
I played it once. I didn't like it.
Yeah, that mask looks straight from Destiny.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much the episode. But I do want to talk about so we were trying to come up with theories about Deke, and so we got a little information on his father. We don't know who his mother is.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that his mother was Robin, but that's not true, and it seems like his mother's not on. She wasn't there on the Zephyr with everyone else. So
there is a theory I've heard, little whispers, that he might be Bobby and Hunter's son. Which makes me really sad because that means they're dead. But that'd be interesting.
I don't think that is the case because look how old Robin was.
Yeah, I do find it unlikely, but I think it'd be interesting because, and then it would make sense for me why they brought Hunter back. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't. Because Hunter was in the one episode and he's not back for these other ones, so it makes me think, I'm glad that you're back, but you didn't really have a purpose. I mean, he had a purpose in the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that it was definitely just for the cameo.
Yeah, which I'm all for. But I want Bobby and Hunter to be back. I just want Bobby and Hunter to be back on the team again, and going on adventures to Russia and whatever else.
Sonara is Cassius' lieutenant.
I'm gonna call her Ball Lady though.
I know. Because I'm going to forget next time. You should see me do the Star Trek podcast because every single week I forget all of the Klingons' names, except for Vogue.
I just call them Klingons.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Star Trek.
I'm
not.
Huge.
I started watching Star Trek. I started watching Star Trek Discovery though, and I'm hooked.
Discovery is really good.
Mm-hmm. But I will say it's kind of distracting because what's her name? Tamara from Once Upon a Time season 2 is on there.
Oh, who?
And I only see that character.
Tamara. Oh, you mean
Yeah, the bitch.
Burnham.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I know her from The Walking Dead.
That too. But I
keep forgetting she was even in Once Upon a Time.
Well, see, I don't forget because we did the rewind. I'm like, oh yeah,
that's
that
right.
bitch.
Yeah, we did do the rewind. Was that in season 2?
Yeah. It wasn't season 2. That was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that's why I didn't do the rewind for season 2.
No, you didn't. Where the fuck were you?
I abandoned you.
No, I told everyone. No, because people were asking about you. I told everyone that I killed you.
Yes, it's true. I'm a ghost.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, where's Rachel?
I've been murdered. Rachel went to the future this week. She'll be back. Don't worry. She's just got to figure out how time travel works.
It's like my mom. I smacked him into next week. So she'll be back next week.
Yeah. There you
go. Let's see. There's something else I wanted to talk about. What was it? Oh, Fitzsimmons.
Yes.
Fitzsimmons, because I love them, and they are great.
They're locked in a room together for 20 minutes and don't realize they're locked in a room because they're too busy boning.
Is now the time though?
Yes.
I mean, they don't ever get the opportunity. Yes. I get it.
They just got engaged. They're allowed to bone a little.
Yeah, I know, but and I'm happy for them, but come on, guys, you got a mission to do.
And I mean, listen.
But then again, they
could die tomorrow.
But if they didn't do it now, right, they're gonna.
Exactly, they might die tomorrow.
One of them's gonna either die.
They might die today.
One of them's gonna fall into lava. One of them might get taken away by a space monkey or something. Like
Oh,
something's gonna happen.
Robin knows how Simmons dies. So, I mean, I believe it's never gonna come to that because the goal is to stop the earthquake from ever happening. So if they're successful in their goal, then they can break the time loop and they don't have to keep doing this anymore.
Now, I don't know if I'm the only one who's getting this, but like there's a sense of, I guess, like parentage in this season. Am I the only one getting that? Like themes of like, you know, the relationship between parent and child to me is very prevalent this season. Or I don't know if I'm just making that up in my head.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, with May and Robin, with Mac and Yo-Yo and Flint, definitely even before, like a big sister thing what he had with Tess.
So
like familial bonds.
Yeah, there we go. Familial. That's the word I was looking for. I'm like, I didn't even know what I was talking about. But I was thinking about this because, you know, Fitz and Simmons did the thing.
Yeah, I did have that thought because they definitely don't have condoms, so
we don't know. We don't know.
Somebody might be pregnant.
Someone might be pregnant, or maybe Fitz keeps the thing in his wallet, but
He's just got one. He took one with him to the future. It was
actually,
frozen with him.
Actually, maybe it's one from like high school that he had.
It's like 87 years past its expiration date. But it was frozen, so it's fine.
I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't think so either.
So I'm just going to, well, you know, like it only takes one time. You know, it only takes one time.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't have. Maybe they don't have to get a turtle.
They don't need a turtle because they could have a baby. Ooh.
I'm gonna draw a fan art of Fitz and Simmons going to the pet store to get a turtle.
Yeah.
Because like in my head canon, they just got it. They get a turtle.
Yeah.
They get a turtle.
You made me believe they actually got a turtle in the show, so it's very strong headcanon.
And you were all worried about the turtle, and I'm like, wait a minute, does she think they have a turtle?
Yeah, no, you convinced me that they had a turtle. So I was like, oh, I must have just forgotten about the turtle. Yeah, totally.
Turtle named Science.
Yeah, okay. This episode, I think, is the best episode out of a very good season.
Definitely. I'm really liking this season.
And they gave us a lot of pieces to this puzzle this episode, and they didn't spell everything out for us.
Mm-hmm. Which they don't do, ever.
Yeah, I think they really... I felt like they respected my intelligence as an audience, and I like when a show can do that.
Especially with these Marvel shows.
Yeah.
And Marvel in general. So next episode, episode 9, called Best Laid Plans. Mac, Yo-Yo, and Flint fight to keep everyone alive by starting a revolution against the Kree. I'm not sure how that's different from any other episode, but yeah, go synopsis for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm just excited to see more Mac and Yo-Yo, and Flint for that matter.
Yeah.
I'm liking Flint.
There was a shot of Daisy fighting, and it looked like she was on Earth. I feel like they're going back next episode, back in time. I feel like it's happening already. I don't know.
Which makes me think, because, you know, last season we had 3 arcs. We usually have like 2.
Oh, you're right. It was like 3. Oh shit.
It was Ghost Rider LMD framework.
Yeah. Shit.
This season, I don't know if we're doing that again, but this feels like the way that this season started, it felt like this was going to be a entire season long story. But it seems like they're kind of, it doesn't feel like they're rushing it, but it feels like things are going like by at a nice pace to where this could be resolved maybe like episode 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me think, well, what's after this? What can they possibly do after they do time travel and multiverses and stuff?
Yeah.
But like, I think to myself, well, back in season 3 when they were doing Inhumans, I'm like, okay, like how do you go past Inhumans? And they did it. So
yeah,
I think I'm excited for this season because I'm loving it so far, and I'm excited to see the payoff. But I'm also worried that we're gonna have a burnout, and then I go back to my senses and think like, stop worrying too much, like just enjoy the damn show. And so that's what I'm basically trying to say is like I'm enjoying this season.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite season so far.
It's doing real good. I was worried because of time travel and of this being in a larger universe, but
I mean, it's still like I don't want to think about it, but
yeah.
Time travel works best when you don't think about it.
It does. But it's also that kind of thing where you like feel like you have to think about it, and then you think about it too much, and then you hurt your brain. But they're doing a pretty good job of like laying it out in a way that's not universe breaking and a way that's not mind breaking.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Anything you want to add?
Just that apparently the 12th episode of the season is going to be the 100th episode.
Oh, okay.
On March 9th. So that's...
Can we do musical?
Huh?
Musical episode of
Ooh. Yes.
I love when shows do musical episodes.
But it has to be...
But that's the singing, but the characters know that they're singing.
Yes. It has to be... what's the lip sync battle that they had with the Agent Carter?
Oh my god.
It has to be that. Dub Smash?
Sure.
Yeah, it has to be Dub Smash.
No, but I love when episodes of TV do musical episodes and there's a good reason for why the characters are singing. Like they explain why the characters are singing. And I want to see how if this show's probably not, it's never going to do a musical episode, but if this show was to do a musical episode, I think it'd be interesting because I want to see how they explain why the characters are singing.
It would have to be something like they did in Flash, where it was Mxyzptlk, the like trickster guy. So Loki shows up, casts a song spell. I don't know.
That's okay. A song spell.
You could probably do that, I guess. I don't know.
God of Mischief, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Probably. Falls under that category.
Agent Carter did have kind of a musical episode, sort of. It had a musical number.
Oh, yes.
Beginning of an episode. You remember that? I love that episode. Do that, Agent Sophia. Do that and I'll be happy.
I'm gonna go back and watch Agent Carter. I miss her so much.
I miss her too so much. Now I got sad. So let's end it now.
Okay.
That has been our show. Cleo, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Cleomoto.
And you can find me and Peggy and all of my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem on YouTube at Jacob Salazar. You can find me on Twitter or tweet me throughout the week. The life at TuneOverland. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Neverland Society. This has been the As Seen on TV podcast, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you can find us here on Twitch, where you're watching us right now, or on YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, MySpace, and also our Discord. Check us out. You can find us everywhere doing the things that we love, talking about things that you love, or maybe you don't love, but you watch us anyway. So that has been our show. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Oh, that's me. I'm doing that part. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's me. Oh. Sorry, I was too busy looking at all the Marvel movies coming out this year.
which are plentiful and they're gonna be awesome.
I was shocked and distracted because I did not know that Ant-Man and Wasp was coming out in July, a week before my birthday.
No. I find myself enjoying the Marvel movies that are standalone movies about one single hero. I mean, I love Avenger movies, and like, you know, the team up movies.
But it's nice to have like the one character.
Yeah.
To like.
I mean, Captain America: Civil War wasn't really Captain America's movie.
I feel like it really was, though.
I mean, thematically it was,